Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we've seen what is happening presently in the political landscape. We've seen that Delta State Governor recently, Sheriff, just recently, shift allegiance to the APC government. But the North now they've come out to say that it's as if Tinubu is trying to buy his way. That they know that Tinubu know that they will not vote for him. And what is going on? And the Fulanis are so upset. They said, I think it's high time Tinubu, we might break Nigeria. And with what is going on now, the other governors are already preparing for this shift. What is your take as regards what is going on?
I think Tinubu is an expert in playing dark politics right from the beginning. He ever came to political limelight. I will must give it to him. If not that, we know the margin of which he won that election. I claim to have been won by P2B. The margin is very slim, and it came as a result of the pressure that came from the APC governors as at that time to persuade the former president Buhari to endorse Tinubu, because Buhari's body language was not to give it to Tinubu as it were as at that time. But the APC northern governors went on their knees and pleaded, and that was what actually happened. If not, I don't think we should be talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his foreign policies currently now. But look at it from another perspective. There's a problem now between the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a Southerner, and his vice president, Shetima, who is a Northerner. Now, if you look at it very well, the picture is that Shetima is being relegated by Tinubu Lagos forces in the Aso Rock, and which has triggered that Shetima to begin to romance deeply with core northern political power players. He was the one that led Buhari from Daura to Kaduna, where Buhari is stationed now. There's a reason why Buhari is stationed in Kaduna, because the suspicion that APC bloc that form APC is definitely going to pull out at the end of the day. There's also so many other blocks that's within the APC, that's of northern bloc and an alliance and merger or coalition, whatever, that gave birth to APC. But Tinubu having assessed that clearly, and even though he was being brought by the northerners, the northerners have seen that the possibility of Tinubu dismantling the northern structure, sending a wrong signal to the middle belt against the core north, so the guy is playing a very dangerous dark politics at this point. So it becomes very clearly that the signs on the wall is signaling that Nigeria is going to enter an era of deep somersault, crashing as a nation, possibly, and the system is going to erupt that will lead to that, possibly from north. You can see the intensity of killing, majorly in the middle belt axis down to some part of the eastern part of the country. So looking at that, there might be an intelligence report, even though Tinubu has mandated the Nuhu Ribadu and the rest of them. He cannot be rest assured that those people are at his back to carry out, to make sure that this killing stops. It has been there always. But the main thing is that looking at the governor himself of Delta State, who has spearheaded mass defection, the gale of defection to APC and the powers that be. Unfortunately, with that ideology, that the Nigerian politicians, that's what they are. Somebody that was a vice president or in the last election under Atiku was the one who is seen moving to APC. And there's another big man behind the scene who shared the same political space, and a colleague of the present president of Nigeria, talking about James Ibori, who structures was reactivated by immediately Tinubu came to power, because they were all former colleagues. The same politics Ojokal is trying to play in Abia State is what has triggered that. And the threat of corruption charges and here and there over this, because once you move to APC, your sins has been forgiven. So now, but the people themselves of Delta State are not in support of that movement. But Tinubu is playing politics of money. The governors have more allocations now than ever in any history of Nigeria's leadership under democratic setting, where the governors experience huge amount of allocation. You know, so with this threat, let me put it that way, or signal coming from the entire southern bloc that Tinubu has finally swallowed the southern bloc, you know, as standing firm against the north. The north is already seeing this, you know, that the possibility that if they reject Tinubu finally, that it might lead to breakup of Nigeria. And the signals are there. Some analysts have put it in that direction, because the rising, the uprising, you know, the gang up from the north might resort to violent or chaos against any southern interest within the political space, and that might engineer, you know, the final collapse of Nigeria. And the north are saying they are ready. If Nigeria can collapse, they are ready. You know, after all,
Are you sure they are ready? With what's on ground? Are you sure the northern?
Of course, you can see one of the special advisors to Tinubu, who served under Buhari, who just resigned from Tinubu's government. I think something Ahmed or whatever, who happens to be the secretary of Northern Forum Ariwa Consultative Forum, who made it very clearly, you know, that the North is going to decide on the direction that we want to go at the end of the day. But whatever happens, you know, what if tomorrow we wake up, we see all the entire Northern governors of 19 states moving back to CPC? What will happen to APC? So that's why people are saying that the man is playing a very dangerous, dark politics, you know, that that can lead to collusion, you know, and that can trigger political unrest in the country, because the North will say, we brought you and you are sending this kind of message signal to the entire North. And remember also to that Tinubu might likely have his way at the end of the day, because it is clear that Atiku is having an ambition, and the power cannot return back to the North. That's the truth. There's no how to go back to the
South.
It is.
So, but the North are insisting that they want to come back to power. What do you think will happen?
They're not coming back to power. Does not justify or the rationale behind, you know, justice, one Nigeria, the way it's supposed to be, because we just had 8 years of Buhari, you know, uninterrupted, you know. So the balance is that the South should also, you know, enjoy whatever. But since they left power, you can see the kind of condemnation that is coming, even from Buhari's men who just left office, and saying that the globalization agenda has already taken place in Aso Rock. The lopsided appointment, you know, that has flooded Yorubas every corner, and at the same time now, you know, the only PDP region, you know, is moving massively to APC, signaling that the old PDP is in the hands of Wike. Why the new PDP that was saw under former senior president Bukola Saraki is in the hands of, you know, Atiku Abubakar. So how are they going to balance that? I made it very clearly that competing ambition will lead to maximum disintegration of political parties in Nigeria, and that maximum in disintegration will also echo, you know, the prophetic words of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of how Nigeria is going to possibly break up. And already people have already seen Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the last president of Nigeria as it stands today. So the way it is, like what Gani Adams is saying, you know, the major players now, I pray it didn't get to the side of Abia State, where Alex Oti is the governor of that state. But I can tell you, most of these governors we are seeing now, I tell you, go and check their source. Most of them are being installed there by the Fulanis. Among the 19 states in the north, currently now, there's no Hausa man that is a governor. You know, all of them are Fulanis. And the Fulanis are just 16 million people in the north there as their region, while the Hausas themselves are about 66 million. You can see the difference, you know. So, and the north is also capitalizing on their voting strength. With small alliance in the south can remove Tinubu from office at the end of the day. That's just the truth. So whatever dangerous angle he's taking, we saw the governor of Akwa Ibom talking about definitely, there's no going back. We are going to see Peter Mba of Enugu State, the worst governor, if I might say, in terms of not being bold enough. And we are not seeing that boldness in him to challenge the Fulani killing in Enugu State. Unfortunately, that's what it is. And some other governors too, but I do not see, the only governor that I'm seeing there that might likely stand his ground, irrespective of whatever happens, is the governor of Bayelsa State. And of course, Alex Oti will not be alone at that range. So the North is also looking at this thing. For me, I felt that it should have been an underground work, prepared, waiting for the right time to manifest. It is too early to start threatening the North and showing signals of what it intends to do ahead of 2027 election. I'm talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay, but do you not think from the as regards the southern governors defecting to APC, do you not think they are doing for their selfish interest?
Oh, of course, I told you there's a reason why they are having more allocations now than any other administration in the history of Nigeria. Governors are happy because Tinubu put more money on the table for them than any other administration. So they have it. So they want to enjoy more. They want to have more. But it's a trap. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has set for them, that might trigger a one-party system in Nigeria that might be a threat to democracy. And that is where the breakup is going to come at the end of the day. Because the North will see it as as a loss of principles, as a loss of agreement, as a sign, as a signal to them, as a slap to the North themselves, to begin to think towards the direction of, it has gone to the point that, the president's body language is signaling that breakup of the entity called Nigeria. So apart from their selfish interest, of course, that's what it has been always when you talk about Nigerian politics. There's no Nigerian politics that has not been in that direction. But that the Igbo political culture, as it is now, that's built around the old Eastern region, is being infiltrated by this thing in another angle. So what we are seeing is another direction of the Fulanization by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because by the time the Fulanis are able to put together all the governors they installed there, of course they will flood in Fulani machineries in the entire old Eastern region, and the killing will continue. Unfortunately, these are the things they are not seeing. These are the things they are not able to understand. That for them to be caged by, because you do not know the certain agreement and the certain politics they are playing behind the curtain that made them to produce Muslim ticket, and have seen that the issue of Fulanis in the South has not stopped. You can see what Gani Adams said, that I don't know why these governors have not been able to stand up against these Fulanis up to this moment, signaling that the structure of leadership can only be given to those who are loyal to the Fulani agenda, who are loyal to the Islamization, because you'll be told on what to do, you'll be told on what to achieve, you'll be told as a governor the direction, because without you agreeing, no deal. And when the time comes for you, you expect to abide by the agreement. If not, they will just instigate one EFCC matter, and you are gone, and you are removed. Look at what is happening. Look at how they are able to tailor Fubara of Rivers State to the point of having an audience, we don't know what is going to happen at the end of the day, whether Timi Fubara at the end of the day is going to join, of course, APC at the end of the day. But that will create, another lacuna among the militant group, who have already aligned with the structures of reality in Rivers State. But unfortunately, anything can happen because Nigerian politics is played in the dark.
Okay, thank you very much.